welcome to day 2 at Energylandia, and as you can see the sun today is actually shining. So come on, let's do a proper vlog and let me take you around one of Europe's biggest and possibly best parks. Enough of opening ceremonies, let's go find some coasters. Depth charge has come to haunt me at Energylandia. It's a very easy park to get lost in, but totally recommend download the app, and they have this amazing map system that allows you to navigate your way around the park, and actually it's very accurate. It does require you to turn Bluetooth on, I'm guessing that's how it works. You have Aqualantis, Dragon Zone and Sweet Valley back here. Smoggy's Grog, which is Polish of course for Dragon Zone. Does sound like a bit of a psychotropic drug though. And Oktoberfest! Another really cool thing about this park is that all the staff zoom around on these like Segway things. This area lends itself really well to Oktoberfest because actually it looks like a sort of Bavarian village. We've come to Zadra though. Now importantly, Zadra is, or was, my 80th coaster cred yesterday. I wanted to make a little video about that, but the weather was just so bad, I just couldn't get the camera out. 80, that's just unbelievable. There are 19 or 20 coaster creds here if you count discos. We're going to pick up the ones today that we didn't do yesterday, as well as some re-rides on ones that we particularly enjoyed. Probably avoiding some that we didn't enjoy so much. Mayan, no more Mayan, no more Viking. Refuse to get back on them. Awful, awful rides. Four laps on Zadra. It's been walk on. I mean, no other roller coaster in the UK would have, of this magnitude, of this greatness, would be on a 0-minute queue. We did walk on virtually front row, walk on back row, and then 2 walk on middle rows. They've opened up the re-ride gate, so you can literally just go round. We were just going round and round, and 4 laps in about 20 minutes. I think it's pretty good going. Can't escape Merlin anywhere. Spin the wheel, write a review on Google, and win a prize. Why doesn't normal parks do that? It encourages people to leave reviews, and good reviews. This is the new 2024 section of the park, Sweet Valley. It's all themed around sweets and sweet treats. As you can see, it's very brightly coloured, very child focused, and you can just feel the sugar. Here we have Choc Chip Creek, the roller coaster here in Sweet Valley, and it's sponsored by a company called Floof. Now, me thinking Sweet Valley, themed around sweet treats, Floof sounds like candy floss. So it's sponsored by a candy floss company. Wait, hold on a minute, that doesn't look like candy floss. Wait a minute, that's not candy floss. Oh! Floof the beauty company. Of course they would sponsor a ride in Sweet Valley. It's kind of packaged as a kid's coaster, but actually it's quite thrilling. I'd say that's more family thrill. There were some quite intense moments on that, and it's a little bit rough around the edges. It is Vekoma. Might explain why it's a bit rough around the edges, but yeah, it's all right. Abyssus. What can I say? It's a launch. It's a Vekoma, except it's good. And it's forceful, and it's rideable. Circus coaster, only roller coaster I've ever done where I've literally been going around shouting one less time, and praying the ride would end. Stapled in so badly, I literally couldn't breathe, and it really looked like she was going to send it round quite a few times, and if she had, I swear it was because she wanted to punish us for being adults on a kiddie coaster. Dinky Dodgems! 2 lift hills and a roll back to finish. It's the new number 1. Is it called Magic Fly or is it called Happy Loops? Answers on a postcode to PO Box No One Cares. Happy Loops is a bit of fun actually. Look at it. It's an extreme spinning coaster to rival the Ride to Happiness. I mean, look at that. It's not extreme, but it was fun. Oh, we've just come off Speed, which is the water coaster here. A really unique ride. a very unique lift hill. It vertically lifts you in like a cradle, and you pass the empty lift hill cradle coming down as you're going up, so you tilt slightly as you go round. And there is a bit of a dead section in the middle of the roller coaster bit, and then there's a very deceptive splash because it doesn't look like it's going to splash very much. And my famous last words were, it's not very much of a drop into the water actually, we probably won't get very wet. I'm actually quite wet, and I think I'm going to eat those words. But actually it was fun. Thankfully it's a sunny day today. I would have hated to do that ride yesterday, although I'm not sure it could have added any more water to the water we'd already absorbed. How cool is the theming in this toilet? So my final cred at Energylandia here is this lovely Fruity Loop Wacky Worm. Cred number 97. I mean, that's just yeah. It really is quite hard to believe that 3-4 years ago I had a couple of accidental creds, and I'd call them accidental because I'd got on roller coasters and instantly got off and regretted it and refused to get back on. So in 4 short years to be very, very close to that 100 creds, it's quite mind-blowing sometimes. Time for another of the mega coasters here at Energylandia. The Pepsi Hyperion. Beautiful Intermin hypercoaster with a broken splashdown. Doesn't work.
Sounds like Hyperion to me.
Just like Hyperion. And it goes out into the car park like Galactica. So Pepsi Hyperion there behind me. We've done 4 laps on it today, 4 laps on it yesterday. Both weathers, rain and sun, front, middle and back. And it's my new number 3, but it's not good enough to take over from Hyperion, which remains number 2. I just found it a bit disappointing. I felt like it should have had more airtime than it did, so I was a little bit disappointed. There's more airtime today with it being hotter, and it's running a bit faster, but just not enough. It was never going to dislodge Zadra, and it hasn't dislodged Hyperion. So yeah, Hyperion is my number 3 now. But it is a great coaster. Make no mistake about that. It is a great coaster. Just not good enough to dislodge Hyperion for me. Oh look, it's Viking. That's a horrible coaster. Oh look, there's Mayan. That's another horrible coaster. Not everything at this park is amazing. There are some not so great things. This is Atlantis, the Kiddie Rapids ride, which actually has some waves to it, and doesn't actually look quite well themed. This park does have a couple of knockoffs. This is a knockoff top spin. It's not a hearse, but it looks like a bit of fun. We have to go and give this a go. The verdict on an Apocalypto was a bit janky, but it was alright. So that's the SLC Vekoma Mayan, or Janky the Ride as I'm going to call it, because basically the only bits that aren't janky are the brake run back into the station, and it's about 5 seconds after you come out the station. Even the lift hill's got a bit of a jank to it. I wouldn't recommend it. It's a no. One ride, got the cred, done. Let's build a water ride where if you don't get wet enough off one drop, there's a second drop just to make sure. Definitely recommend the RMF Dragon. A lot of fun, that coaster. Very confusing entrance though. It's not where you think it is. So if you've got to the wooden bridge and you think that's the entrance, that's not the entrance, and you need to go around the other side. just done the little boat ride. Sweet, no, it's not called Sweet Anemone Flush. Flush. It was called Aqualantis Grotto Expedition. And all I can say is there's a letter wrong in that. It should be called Grotty Expedition. It was the most tedious boat ride I've ever done. It was basically just the boomerang's viewing platform, because it just winds its way around the boomerang that goes over the water. It's 10 minutes of my life. I'm never getting back. And it was absolutely awful. And here's Timber Tugboat. That would have been more exciting, actually. And that's about us done here at Energylandia. 2 days on this amazing park. And yes, I've mocked some of the rides, but I can't mock the park. It has been a great park. It's a park of extremes, from real thrill rides like Zadra and Hyperion, right down to Aqualantis Grotty Expedition, which is the most boring ride you've ever done in your life. You've got everything from Intamins and RMCs, and a park that's then been filled in with cheap Vekoma clones and SPF visas, and I mean, it makes up the variety of the park. And Pinfari, don't forget the Pinfaris. But it does all add to the variety and what makes this park so interesting and a place that you can spend so much time at. We didn't manage to take in any of the shows, including there's actually a stunt show that goes on in the middle of the park using stunt vehicles. Didn't get time to check out any of that. Oktoberfest was going on, didn't really get to check out much of that. Just so much. 2 days was just never going to be enough. I think it's a park you could easily spend 3 or 4 days at and not be bored. Some of the re-rideable rides are so re-rideable that you wouldn't get bored. You could just keep re-riding them. So sadly, that is the end of our time here. We're going to finish the day in the only way you should finish a day here at Energylandia, by spending the last half hour or so getting in some laps on Zadra. It is the best coaster on the park. It's my number one. So that's it. That's all from me. Thanks to Scott here for his company over the last 2 days. I think we've kept each other sane and helped drive each other crazy. But we've had so much fun. It is a great park, and I will be back. Thank you, Energylandia. That's all from me. I'll see you in a video soon. Bye for now.